So excited because it's just a few more weeks to 25th February. I am Sharon Enemchuku and I'm here with my beautiful, darling co-host in person of
Jessica Chinwe. Welcome back to the show.
And you?
And my name is Ifa Grace. You're welcome to Obidient Women.
Okay. Guys, how was your weekend, first of all?
it was mind-blowing. What summed it up was the rally that took place yesterday.
Oh my God, yes, on Saturday.
It
was
my
giving.
weekend was awesome.
How about you, Grace?
It was fabulous, but even that show that happened yesterday, I was having this mood swing because of a lot of videos I was seeing that most of these guys were beating
Okay,
me.
the thugs.
The attacks, right?
So
that's included
okay.
too.
Aw, I think I had a nice. I think the highlight for me too was the rally in Lagos. Okay. Oh my God, the pictures, the videos, the crowd, the turn up.
So emotional.
Yes, it was beautiful. I love to see that. So guys, today we are going to be talking about the impact of women in grassroots mobilization for Obidient. Okay, so basically we are looking at things that women have been doing to support the campaign and what more they can do. That's just basically what we're talking about. First of all, let's look at what they've been doing already before we talk about what they should be doing. So we've seen a lot of women. You know how they say communication is power, not just knowledge is power, you understand? But then we've seen women,
right?
yes, information is power, but then communication. Okay. And you know that women have been historically known to be gurus at communication. In the form of, it's not gossip, it's just
nagging.
No, it's not nagging. We don't nag. I refuse that.
Oh, you refuse that?
No, we don't nag. We don't nag. Okay, so we've seen women talk about the Obidient movement in different scenarios, in different situations, different gatherings. You see them at the salon where they're making their hairs. You see them in school, they're picking their kids. You see young ladies in their departments or in their different faculties just having this conversation. I know that it's through communication that you bring about awareness about anything, not just politics or anything that's politically inclined. So one thing that I'm so proud that women have been doing is making use of their superpower to communicate.
I like that.
Yes, it's a superpower because it's not every gender that knows how to do that.
Of course.
No shades, guys, no shades. I'm just saying the truth here. But yeah, I've been seeing how women have been they've been just bringing up the topic of Obidi and Dati in their different conversations, and there is no other way to champion a movement than talking about it. So, Jessica, anything?
Anyway, you know, we've been talking about women's involvement in politics a lot of time, and we still go through this circle of women evolving from being indifferent about politics. You know, there's this idea that men should be the people, the only ones in politics. But then there is this evolution that I think started from this Peter Obi's movement. A lot of people, and not just women per se, but then young women, a lot of young women are just voicing out. So it's something incredible because I would use myself as an example. Yeah. I am never, like, I hate anything that concerns politics. Even the only thing I liked was government study, like in my secondary school, right? Or current affairs. But then to talk about it or to be, you know, to be just passionate. Exactly. Like, and I like it when I see women who talk about politics, but then I never imagine myself, you know, being in that position. Exactly. So I think this Peter Obi's trend or whatever he's doing at the moment is triggering interest, like deep-rooted interest in politics, especially in Nigeria. So
it is.
So I'm really proud of that.
It is. Oh, that's beautiful because it's something that we can see.
Yes,
we can obviously see that this is not something that has been happening before, especially in Nigeria. Maybe not in other countries, but in Nigeria, we would not normally see women, especially young women, come out to talk about politics and be emotionally invested in it. So, Grace, one more thing that women have been doing.
The firstly is I'll talk about the coordinated communication. Like you said earlier, communication is the key. So I believe these women like open groups in the sense that it can actually communicate to other people. Okay, let's look at the life of, for instance, Dominica Onugo. She has a group, a political group, where she said basically is to educate women, most especially in the rural areas, those women that are eligible to vote, but they can't actually, like, they don't know what's happening. They are not educated enough. So she said this group is to educate women, those places that these men can actually reach, all those grassroots problems. So she said her group basically is to educate them, and she is in support of Mr. P2B. So they're going to teach them how to vote, and that is it basically.
That is beautiful. Yeah,
I like what she's doing.
Yeah, shout out to her. And it's really commendable. I mean, forming groups just for one cause, bringing people together for a particular cause is really brilliant. And you see that women are actually very brilliant in the way they bring up strategies. I like that. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to add that I've noticed that women have been doing is, okay, so you see how a woman was saying that she was on radio the other day, and she was explaining the 5 gender bills and how it wasn't passed. I know sometimes when you don't understand something, you don't see how it directly affects you. So you know there are some gender bills that some women in parliament and in the National Assembly have been trying to pass, all to no avail. So what this woman did was to explain what this gender bill was. She went to a southeastern state, and she was explaining this in Igbo language, and she was trying to explain that look at how this would have affected you, look at the impacts, now look at the reason why you can't do this, and she was explaining it in Igbo. And it's not just her. You see different people, right? And if you want to know, if you want people to connect more to what you're saying, you have to relate to them in the language they can understand. So I like the fact that women are speaking the language that women understand. Because for real though, we know that there are some kind of conversations that a man would bring up that he won't really be able to pass to a woman. Because how do I explain this? There's just something with hearing your fellow woman talk about something that you know it's serious. But if it's a man, you're obviously thinking, okay, maybe he wants me to vote for the next election, or maybe there's something else that is in, you understand? So yes, I like the fact that women are now coming up to talk about these things, even using, going as far as using media. And I also like what you said about coordinated communication. You understand? Coming up in groups, forming groups. I've seen so much groups.
And these women that are very ready to to join in. A lot of people are even like, I want to belong to a group, so that I want to belong to something like this.
Speaking about, can I chip in something, right? And speaking about media, you mentioned media. You know, there is this popular town hall app which is trending at the moment. Have you downloaded it? Have you guys downloaded it?
I have.
I like it's so innovative. But guess what? The person that created this was a woman. Yes, Indicato.
So created a home. Oh my
yes. God, so there is this thing going on about why she's involved in politics, but then it is very obvious that the reason why she's more inclined in politics is because of Peter Obi.
Of course.
So I don't know personally. I don't know her, or I don't know if she has been into the stain before now. But then I feel like not just Indicato, right? There are other women as well who are prompted to do just beyond the normal. Like when someone creates an app, it shows that, okay, this person is going beyond. And then there was an argument, about the fact that what about those in the grassroots? They are not using phones, right? How do they connect, or how can they get information that is being passed through the town hall app? But then she goes as far as saying that the people in the grassroots, or the people offline, are more influenced by the people online. Like it is what goes on online that affects people offline. It is very funny because even those that do not have phone or who do not have access to the internet, but then you see them talking about Peter Obi. And she even mentioned that there was a time that Peter Obi went to Kafanchan, to rally and all those things. But it was so amazing that people were coming out in their numbers, people in the grassroots, people that do not have access to phones, but then they are coming out, and it's just, it's shocking. So to her, it's obvious that online, play a big role in making Peter Obi popular as it is right now. But then it doesn't stop the fact, or it doesn't change the fact that those offline or those in the grassroots are also impacted by what is going on online. So this movement was, enforced by a female Indicato to the town hall app.
Oh my goodness,
this public communication comes in the sense that the media is doing a very great job.
Exactly.
And also trying to reach all those people in the grassroots, like people in the rural areas where they communicate to one another. I was speaking to a friend of mine. I was like, it's just like speaking the gospel of Mr. P2B.
Yeah,
everyone is talking about it. Everyone is talking about it, so do you understand? So
yeah, it is. I love that because I've heard of the Town Hall app. I've seen Mr. P2B on his Instagram.
Yes.
He would say, "Oh, download the Town Hall app."
Yes.
I didn't know until now that it was actually Indicator that developed that app, and that is just really brilliant because in addition to what we were saying about how creative they can be, this just goes to show the level or the height of their creativity.
Exactly.
And then you said something that it's what happens online that actually affects offline. And then I really agree with that because in the beginning they were saying that, oh, we are just social media.
Exactly.
All of us
in your rooms, right?
Mr. P2B just has social media. And then it is crazy because they think they understand the power that social media wields, but they do not.
Exactly.
Because how can you make it make sense? The fact that Mr. P2B, who allegedly started from social media and had just social media, can you see the crowd of people that pulls up for this man who is allegedly just on social media? And they just forget that. You see that woman that is in a rural area per se, she has a son.
Exactly.
The son might be abroad. She has a daughter. Maybe she's somewhere else in
and those online are giving them information, and it's very powerful.
And we see that okay, let's look at the news media. The news media is moving from paper to digital, to the digital space. So most of this information, right, they don't just have to wait to access it through newspapers or through magazines or whatever. You can be having a phone call. Okay, they don't have a smartphone, but they have a phone where they can make calls, right? That one is enough because your child might, that's how news spread very fast. That's how your daughter will call, oh mom, did you hear that Mr. P2B is coming to Kafanchano? They will say it in their dialect. I say, no problem, I'm going to be there. And then from that woman getting that information, she's going to meet another woman in the salon. I heard this is what my daughter in Lagos told me.
You said something about the powerful woman. I think this is the main power. This is the main power, and we need to really implement it because it's going to take us far. So I like that part.
Okay, let me chip in something. I was speaking with my grandma last week, and she was like, she was hearing about Mr. P2B, stuff like that. I was like, I took one vote, something like that. Like, okay, we're like, how did you know? Like, she had everybody's talking about it.
Wow,
people even in the village like really knows who Mr. P2B is. So
this is really beautiful.
Communication is doing a very great thing.
It is. And you see that Mr. P2B, of course he's educated, and then the people in his corner are actually very educated as well. You see how they are maximizing the media. They are not just there. They actually, this Town Hall app, I don't know any candidate that has actually built an app for their candidates or for the elections. So you see that Mr. P2B actually has a media team, and not just a media team, he has a media presence. Mr. P2B has such a very strong media presence, and it is amazing, and it is for his own credit because you see where it's just very obvious. Why is it just Mr. P2B that's always answering to interviews? Why is it Mr. P2B that's always coming out to media?
That was this interview I saw. They were asking Tinubu questions, like he was not able to answer. They had to bring his assistant to come and answer the question. I'm like, what?
You know what? Okay, sorry for cutting you short, right? I don't know if this interview was yesterday, but then I watched it yesterday, and I don't know, something is happening on the internet right now, which I cannot really place my hand. But then there is currently, they interviewed Tinubu, right? And then he was saying some things that really make sense. Sure.
Tinubu makes sense.
Anyway, that's why I'm saying something is happening on the internet right now, which I cannot really, talk about. But then he made sense, but then he did not really articulate his words. But what the point he was trying to pass made sense. And there was something going on the internet. People were it's just as if your enemy is beginning to gain influence on people, and I was really shocked. But then I noticed that some of these things that this man promises to do are just rehearsed, because we are so used to the I will build you this, I will give you corn, I will give you fire.
Especially when it comes to women. Exactly. Like when he becomes the president, he will look at that matter. That means it was never
and you know the funny part, when he ended whatever he was saying with he wouldn't want to spill everything out because other parties, that was when I was like, okay, this man doesn't really have anything. So in as much as what he was trying to say made sense somehow, because he was just trying to give reasons why unemployed people, you know, are in this state at the moment, and what he would do, you know, to empower unemployed people and private-owned businesses. But then I have realized that in as much as this man is, you know, doesn't really have anything to offer. We are tired of this recycling, where we are bringing the same word and recycling it. Okay, I will do this and that. So we're used to it, and it's not going to, you know, we are not blinded by all of these tactics.
And then I don't even buy into the whole, I'm going to leave this for later. I don't want to expose it. Because, okay, let's look at Mr. P2B and the interviews that he has attended. He will tell you, this is what I'm going to do.
He's not scared to
this
say
is how I'm going to say. Because let's be honest, it's not just about theory.
Yes.
Can you put it into practice?
It has been done before.
Yes. He will tell you, okay, Mr. Tinubu that is saying that he doesn't want to reveal everything. Please. If you want to do something, right, and you actually know what you want to do, say it. After all, because everything, you're running for the presidency, right, and you want to make Nigeria and Nigerians better.
Yes.
You should not even be scared to share your plans.
It shows that you do not really have anything.
Because to me, it just seems like, to me, I believe that if you're running for this seat, you should want the best. You should want the best for Nigerians. You should have Nigerians at heart, whether you win or you do not win.
That's it.
Do you get? So this is just giving me red flag, in the sense that this is just red flag with you. In the sense that
before Mr. P2B was coming out for the presidential, he's always talking about women. Do you understand that we should, women should step up? Tinubu, I was listening to one of his interviews. He was like, when he gets to the seat, he'll look at that.
So he's not. So
he has no plans for now.
That means right. This is his ambition for Nigeria. What is the basis? What is the foundation for the ambition? And you know, if you know that you're going to become the president of Nigeria, it's not something that you should have thought of last month or last year. Nigeria is a full country, for crying out loud.
It's not a local government.
It's not a local government, blah blue, blah blah. You should have. True, do you understand? So if he's coming out to say, oh, I'm just going to keep some, he becomes the president. We are going to talk a bit more on what women have been doing, and then we're also going to give some advice on what women can do more to support the Obidient campaign, but that will be after this short break. When we come back, we'll be talking more on that. Don't go nowhere.
Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, can you get a vote? Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, can you get a vote? Labour Party, Labour Party, never say, Mama, Papa, Nama, Labour Party, Mama, Papa, Nama, never say, Mama, Papa, Nama, to be Labour Party, Mama, Papa, Nama, to be Labour Party.
Mr. P2B's administration built from scratch Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University Teaching Hospital with 25 building structures. His government funded transformation of massive infrastructural development, accreditation of 12 health institutions and 2 hospitals, and also built 10 maternal and childcare centers across the state. He is the first governor to purchase medical equipment worth over 135 million naira and 50 ambulances for the health sector in Anambra State, which remain functional till today. He built and equipped Dr. Jonwilo Heart Center in St. Joseph Hospital, Adazinnuku, where heart operations are performed. Anambra State is the first state in Nigeria to distribute more than 30,000 computers to secondary schools. Mr. P2B distributed about 700 buses to secondary schools in Anambra State and built 200 primary school blocks. He donated the sum of 300 million naira to Anglican churches and 440 million naira to Roman Catholic churches to rehabilitate their missionary schools. During his tenure, he gave 1 million naira each to more than 160 first-class graduates. To promote the reading culture in the state, he went ahead to build a well-equipped library known as Prof. Kennedy DK Library, Oka. He also rehabilitated the divisional library in Onitsha and gave 500,000 naira to each secondary school in the state to provide library materials. This boosted the student performance from the 26th position in Nigeria to the first position. The security improvement was exceptional as he provided security vehicles to 177 communities in the state. He cleared pension and gratuity owed since 1990 to the tune of about 37 billion naira and also paid.
Okay, welcome back from that break. This is still Obidient Family TV and you're on to Obedient Women. My beautiful co-host and I have been talking about the impact that women can have in the grassroots for the Obidient campaign. My name is Sharon Enemchuku and you are?
Jessica Chinwe.
Okay.
Ifo Grace, and you're welcome back to Obedient Women.
Okay, so you know how we were talking about what women have been doing to support the movement. I think we should go quickly into what more that they can do or what more they can bring to the table. So there's this point, it's not directly for women, it's for everybody really, and this was actually a suggestion from, I don't know if I'm going to get the pronunciation correct, but it's from Fatoumata Jambajan, former vice president of Gambia. So the former vice president of Gambia, I tried, right? Yeah. Stressed the need to mobilize men to champion women's issues. Wow. I like that. This is actually going to be a full topic on its own, but let's just talk about this briefly. The need for men. So can you imagine that a world where men would actually come out to the forefront to support women, this is what, and not be the oppressor, in quote. So I like this fact. I think that if we want more women to come out and support Obidient, really, or maybe in the future, maybe just support a right candidate, I think men should also come into the picture here, because for long now, it's just been men at a particular position when it concerns government. They've just been there for too long. And when we talk about, we need to reorientate women on the need to involve, but we also need to reorientate men as well. I think there's a whole dynamic change that needs to happen. There's a whole lot they need to unlearn, and they
have the mindset that it's not just all about men being at that executive position.
I think everybody needs this. Everybody needs to be schooled on this aspect, in this regard. I think men actually need to come into the picture, but that's just my own opinion. I'm agreeing with former vice president of Gambia.
I totally agree, because I wanted to list the causes of why women are not really involved in politics. And number one is discrimination by men, lack of finance, poor leadership skills, lack of cooperation amongst women, cultural, religious, and economic barrier solution. But then, barrier is not the solution, rather. But then the first one is discrimination.
So cut you off. Do you know that sexual violence is part of the causes as well?
Okay, let's include that. Let's include that. But then I noticed that the first one is discrimination by men. That's the first one. I mean, if you as a man do not support these women, in politics, I mean, it's going to be very hard. But it starts with our men, because I find it really funny why when people, when men, try to, I don't know if it's a feeling of, how do I put it, like this pride in men. A woman is coming in to lead me. Ego, thank you. A woman is coming in to be the head, and I'm the second, or you understand?
Like it's never done.
But then we're talking about capacity here. We should be more focused on capacity. And I don't know, but then I don't think that all men would agree. So this is still going to be a fight that will continue, because not all men will want women to become the head or the top in that position.
For now, I'm the only political leader I'm seeing talking about women back to back is P2B. Apart from that,
there are a lot of them, though. There are a lot of them, but then it's a problem.
That is it. They might not even have the courage to come out to talk about it.
So their fellow men don't address them as simps. You understand?
Exactly.
Because it's actually funny. You are very right in the sense that this is something that might take a while, because when you look at it, the whole ideology that men have, and you are listing, I think we should make that a full topic, and so we should just how do I elaborate on the reason why women have not been part of it, because this is a whole issue. It's so broad. You mentioned something about cultural and religious reasons, and some women have actually, okay, I think when I was in primary school, or I can't remember, they were teaching us about, I think it's government studies, and they were the topic was population census and how to conduct population census. And it was in my primary 6 or 4, I can't remember, that I found out that most of these men that go out to count people, when you go to a Muslim home, you can't count the women.
Wow.
You can't count the women. There's a...
As part of like, they're not
yes, you are not supposed, like you're a man, you are not supposed to count the women in that home. Yes, and I remember then, in my small head, I'm like, wow, why? And, you know, that's when I started finding out about the whole hijab, and there's a whole lot of... we need to talk about, like give a full-blown research on culture and how it has prevented women, religion, and how it has prevented women from voting, because I think I also saw on the net where a Muslim woman was saying that her husband would not allow her to come out and vote.
Really?
Yes, that she was saying that her husband
this century.
Yes. Yes. That her husband would allow her to come out and vote. So there's just so much, and that's why I'm saying that men also need this unschooling, like this unlearning. You need to be schooled. There's a whole lot that needs to happen, especially with the mindsets, not just for women but for men as well. So I like that. And then there's something I wanted to ship in, because who doesn't like to blow their own trumpet? I saw a statement that the Africa director of the MacArthur Foundation, that is in person of Kole Shettima, said. He said that countries led by women perform better. That's just simple and short. I just wanted to put it out there. So it's beautiful, because it doesn't have to be the president. Of course, women can become president, but you know, when women lead, the leading position or leadership position doesn't just relegate to the office of the president. When women lead, you know, they're in key position of government. You know, they're in the table where they make important decisions. And that's what Mr. P2B has said. He was talking, and he said, look, okay, they were talking about the gender equality bill. I've forgotten her name. She's an activist and a politician as well, and she wants the inclusiveness of women in government. And so Mr. Peter B came up and he was saying that, oh, okay, I just heard about your bill that wasn't passed, and of course his government is going to look into that, and this is important. And we know that this is something that he has done before. So I just see the need for everybody to have this whole reorientation. There should just be a whole fresh teaching, fresh schooling, and all that
mindset that is not all about the men. But I think Nigerian is not even yet ready for that
conversation.
And when it comes to religion, right? It's another story entirely. You can easily transform a person that is not blinded by religion or that is not religiously biased than when you are talking to a normal person that is not interested in religion. You can change the person's mind, but when someone is so uptight with one belief, especially when it comes to religious stuff, it is hard, man.
You can't. There's something they say. I know one of the reasons for this is the emotional investment with our religion. You are a Muslim and someone just comes and tells you, oh, don't listen to what, or see this thing that Allah. Is it? What is it?
Yes, Allah. Don't listen to Allah.
No, it's not Allah. Muhammad. Yes.
Okay, Muhammad.
Yes, that Muhammad. That do you know that what Muhammad said is not entirely true?
That's a problem.
Like what happened? I think it was last year or so that a Muslim girl, she was talking about something in her school, and they killed her because she was having the conversation. She was talking like she was trying to explain about what Muhammad said.
She was actually trying to preach. So you can imagine when you are
and she was killed because of that.
And you know the funny part, right? When that thing occurred, it was a problem for the Muslims. And why I'm saying it was a problem, because there were, you know what shocked me is that there were some educated Muslims that were in support of that action.
Exactly.
And I was shocked. I was like, you went to school, you pass through this level of education, and yet you're still biased by. Anyway,
and then okay. Education and exposure are two different things.
Exactly.
You can be educated and you will still be behaving like a bushman. It's not, education doesn't excuse barbarism or barbaric attitude, because it is quite appalling. The fact that of course I heard that. So who didn't hear that story about this? I don't even know exactly what the whole conversation was. I was just captured by the fact that she was killed. Like a whole human life was just wasted for a conversation. For what? For what? Which I don't even want to get into religion that would allow for you to waste a human life.
Yeah. Another thing that shaped in, they were also saying that because she was a woman, do you understand that if it was a man, it would be completely different.
Are you for real?
I'm telling you, lots of people like, because
we have a long way to go.
I'm telling you, not ready for that conversation.
We have to be ready. It has gotten to the point where we have to be ready, and we need to own up to our flop and our just own up and be more responsible human, because at the end of the day, it's not about being religious. Have conscience. Like, just be a human being for real. It doesn't have anything to do with religion, because I believe that if you're a human being first, there are some certain things that you would not approve of, whether religion accepts that or not. So I think that Nigerians really, if you look at it, we have lost touch a bit with our human side. Maybe it's because of the suffering, maybe it's because of the things that we've seen over the years back to back. But then it just seems like, okay, let's compare more developed countries and Nigeria. If you see the way, let me use an example. Let me say one girl is kidnapped. One white girl is kidnapped. The way the entire police force abroad would fight for this girl's life would shock you. But then you come to Nigeria, 300 Chibok girls kidnapped, and for how many years? Government even had to come to the point of even negotiating ransom, negotiating with the kidnappers to be able to release the girls. 300 girls, not one.
It's crazy that there are ways that these people can, get these girls out. But this thing just seemed like a business. I don't even think that they were so clueless to the point that they don't know what to do. This is just a combined effort to just keep those
because
girls
let's just say those 300 Chibok girls were not actually 300, were not Chibok girls. Let me say they were their relations or their daughters. Don't tell me that these people will sit down and be negotiating money with kidnappers and leave them to get pregnant and to give birth and stay there for years. I don't even know if all of them, I'm not sure all of them made it out. Someone made it out. So we're killed. And then it just goes to show
this is very sad.
The height of how Nigerians are so, they're not in tune with their hearts. They're not even, I don't even know, because when things don't affect you, right? When you do something and it doesn't prick your conscience, you are no longer human.
Sure.
If you can do certain things and it won't prick you, you are not human. So I feel like a lot of things has to change. There are so many conversations that we need to be having as Nigerians, as a people, because it doesn't even make sense. It does not make sense. And I feel like after this, I just really hope that after Mr. Peter Obi becomes president, that this whole awareness, this whole awakening doesn't die down. I want this to be the start of something new, the start of something different, the start of a new dawn or whatever. But let people just wake up and start asking questions. That's just my own point of view. And then talking about what women can do, what more women can do to support the Obidient campaign. This one is something that people have already been doing. I mean, we've had people on the show who will come and tell us, okay, see, we actually donated so and so amount for this campaign. We went to this place. So the next point is independent expenditures. And this is something that Obidient, in fact, any Obidient has been doing from home, abroad. You'll see them actually contributing from their own pocket. The whole money politics is no longer in play, where how much can I get from a particular party before I vote. It's just they want to contribute. So I think women, I know women are already doing it, but I think they should also do it more, in the sense that you can also support with not just money, but with other resources, with your time, with your energy, your skill, your talent, your creativity. Let's look at Wuyemi, who is a voiceover artist. We had her over on the show where she was saying about how she's a voiceover artist and how she started just voicing out things for P2B, and look at where she is now. So I feel like when we talk about contributing or voluntary contributions, it doesn't necessarily have to be all about money. It can also be with skills, with time, with energy, and all of that stuff. Jessica, do you have anything to add?
Well, I think you've said it all, especially the fact that you should not limit yourself as a woman. I have this feeling that there are some people who feel that because they are women and they are young, then their voice will not be heard. I mean, you mentioned Wuyemi being a voiceover artist. The fact that she is a voiceover artist and she used what she's good at, you know, to spread the good news. You can be a dancer and you can just be spreading the good news. You can be anything and just be spreading the good news. So just go out there and make sure, because I saw someone who was okay, she's actually a dancer at the moment, yes, and she has just been doing a lot on the internet, and it's so amazing. Not really, I don't know her name. I just get to see a video come up once in a while, and I love what she does. And it's she's a dancer, and she uses that dancing to spread the good news. She just gets to like empower other young females. They come together, they dance, they talk about it, just give this caption on what to do and all of those things. You know, I wanted to also say something before we round up the show. I also want to mention that, I don't know, it's a church that I saw. They created something like this, and they were using it to should I use the word sensitize, or just to they were trying to educate people on how to vote. So that is something to also look into. Yes, a church. So they just printed these things and everyone collected it and they showed them how to vote. So these are ways, even if you're a woman, a man, whoever you are, just find a way to empower, find a way to sensitize. So that's what I have to say.
You know, wherever you are good at, you do that.
Exactly.
Like you say, something similar. I also saw that a lady who sings as well, like they were like a group of people. So they use their voices, you know, understand, like you said, preaching the gospel of people. So I think that wherever you're good at, if you know what you can do, just do it. That is it. Exactly. We're all fighting for the same thing.
Exactly. We're all fighting for the same thing. And then it's beautiful when we're bringing different weapons to fight.
Exactly.
You know, you take them unaware. You take them unaware. So I like that. You both have actually said everything. Bringing different things to the table. It doesn't have to be money, your talents, your skills. So yes, I think that's just also what I'm going to add to that. Talking about what more women can do, I think that's just all for now. Let's not
exhaust everything, right?
Yes, let's just leave it here.
Lots way to go.
Yes, and let's also not forget that the election is soon. I don't know if I'm saying 25th February.
It's less than 13 days.
Are you for real? So let's just say it's less than 30. It's very, very close.
I'm kind of anxious, but I'm just trying to be anxiously positive or positively anxious.
Exactly. Both of them can go. So I'm actually excited because I'm just excited because, you know, last week my spirit was a bit dampened when I found out that some students weren't able to get their voters card. And it was just really maddening. But I'm seeing that in the statistics of things here, the number of registered voters, youths are still leading. And it just gave me that confidence. Okay, even though the youths that are there, the youths that were able to register successfully, they've got our back.
And not just that, I heard I've also given students like 3 weeks break.
Oh my God! Yes.
They gave it from 20th or so.
No, 22nd of February.
Are you serious?
Yes, 3 weeks.
This is amazing. Even for the camera now, I love it.
Of course, we're going to go on 3 weeks break.
And you can actually travel.
Yes, to vote. And you know this is what we are being worried about. Like, students being in school and not being able to go to where they registered.
It was during the strike.
And it was at home. So now you can actually go home and you can eat your mother's food and chill.
Now you don't have any coming back to give.
Yes, I like that. There's no excuse. There's no way to run. You are going to vote P2B whether you like it or not. Okay, that is going to be all today. It's been such an amazing conversation with my beautiful ladies. And of course, it's always a pleasure when we talk about Mr. Peter Obi and the forthcoming elections. This is not the time to start to get a PVC because I think that time has just passed. Now just vote. Just get ready to vote. Get your mind prepared. Get your anything that happens that day, you are ready. Anyhow they want it, you are there. That's what we want, back to back. Okay. So and that's just that for now. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about maybe the challenges that women have faced. We've not decided yet, but it's going to be an interesting topic. Don't forget to also follow us on all our social media platforms. We're at Obidient Family TV on all social media platforms, and also follow my beautiful co-host on their individual social media. What is yours?
You can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, Jessica__.
Okay, great.
You can follow me on Facebook at Ife Amara and at Instagram at Signal Empire.
Okay, you can also follow me on all social media platforms at Sharon Chuku. Alright, this is where we call it a wrap. Till we see you tomorrow. Do keep it locked and have a blessed day. Bye.
Bye.